Now, in the society we live in though, you have to act the part, however. So when you go and you're a guy and you go to an interview, I don't care what interview it is, they expect you in a suit and at least a tie to show some respect for the position, right? And whether or not your belief system is in there, you have to put your belief system aside, because if you want that job, you have to present yourself in a manner that is acceptable to them. Does that make sense? So you have to play the game until you don't need to play the game. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
See, what happens, we have such big egos. Well, I don't need to play the game. See, Barry can play that game all day long. No, Barry couldn't play that game 15, 20 years ago. Barry had to play their game until Barry could play his game. You guys with me?
Yes.
So put your egos aside. I want you to understand, with business, you need to put your egos aside. The job is unsuitable. They tell you it's unsuitable, meaning that you have gone to a job and you have put your life in someone else's hand to tell you whether or not, who are people to tell you whether you are suitable or not to perform that job? By the way you look, by the way you dress, by the demeanor that day. Does that make sense? Who are they? Won't you be foolish and put your lives and continue putting your lives into positions where people find you unsuitable? Hello? Hence, entrepreneurial mindset. Entrepreneurs know, well, I'm going to start my business. I'm going to work for me. And shit, if you find yourself unsuitable, you have an issue. How many of you know if you're self-employed, you can't really be unemployed or have no place to work tomorrow unless you decide that I ain't working tomorrow. And then you still have an issue. So why you want to be an entrepreneur? Because you want to be the boss. You find yourself suitable. I don't care if 99 people tell you you're unsuitable. You have to find yourself suitable. When Walt Disney went and he wanted to build Disney World and the 10,000 banks told him no for the loan, he said, screw that. I'm still suitable. I'm sticking to what I know. You guys with me? So if you have that drive in you, you stick with what it is, because you know that you're in business for yourself, you become suitable. Right? And you align with people that find you and give you an opportunity to live your dreams and goals. You understand that money attracts money. And that's why you wear a tie when you first start. And why you put on the suits. And understand that it's not what you believe. If you're a salesperson going into a home to sell something and you look in baggy pants with holes in your jeans and all of that stuff, you're only kidding yourself, because 90% of the people ain't going to listen to you or take you seriously. Right? Now, you and I know you have the skill set. You probably have the verbal skills, you have the technical skills, you know your product, and you can sit out there naked and present to them and have the power to do that, but you ain't going to get a lot of sales, are you? So you have to play the game and understand that money attracts money. So if you want to attract in business certain clientele, you have to become attractive to that clientele. Does that make sense? Yes?
Yes.
We attract who we are. So you might want to attract people earning $80,000, $100,000 a year, but you hanging on with people that only make $30,000 a year, you're not going to be a very attractive person, trust me. Here's the good news. If you act and dress or where your mind wants you to be, you don't actually have to be earning that money, because here's what happens. You're already living it, you're acting it, you projected it. If you're in your job at this position and you want your boss's position, you have to start acting and behaving like they behave. Behavior, you have to change habits, and that changes your behavior. And when you behave like $1 million, you're going to be worth $1 million. I used to do job interviews and interview people, and we'd have a questionnaire saying, if you could be anybody, who would you want to be? Oh, the president, Oprah, blah, blah, blah. And then the next line says, how much income you would like to make this year? $45,000. Are you friggin', what? I feel like slapping them. How can you tell me you want to be Bill Gates and the president and Oprah, and when I ask you how much money you want to earn, what, $45,000 a year? Well, them people don't make that shit. They make that in a second, 45 grand a second. Put down and you want to make $1 million. I didn't ask you what I'm going to pay you. I'm asking you what it is you want to make. But here's where your mindset and your actions and your internal belief system, you see, what they do is how much would you like to make? They're not how much they want to make. They're figuring how much the job to pay them. Because they're so just desperate for the job. So they put in something that they feel will fall into the range of what that job normally pays. Does that make sense to you? Your thinking and what you do and what you ask for in life have to line up. Because if you don't ask, you don't receive. They're going to pay you whatever they feel to pay you. If you put yourself in a position to be paid by other people. You have to know what your self-worth. And that means, that's why you want to be in business for yourself. Because you know your self-worth. You're going to work as hard and put as much effort in it to earn whatever income you want to earn based on your self-worth. Because the person or anyone else in society is not dictating your paycheck. That is why you want to be your own boss. That's a mindset of being in business for yourself. I'm going to pay me what the hell I deserve to get paid. Not what you decide I'm worth. You guys with me? And here's the nice thing about mastermind alliances. When you align yourself with the Sabrinas of the world and stuff like that, they want you to think big. We want you to think big. Because the bigger you think, the better off society is. If everyone was making $1 million or $500,000 or even $100,000 a year, would there be a lot of crime and stealing and robbing and going and have to break into someone else's home to take their shit because they can't buy their own? Think about that for a second. So our job is to make sure we help every single person raise their standard of living to protect ours. Are you guys with me on that? Yes. When everyone else's home is worth more, what happens to your home? In that neighborhood, it's worth more. This thing that is going on with the housing market and people losing homes, and that is not good for any one of us, rich or poor. That's terrible. But you have to feel that, you have to understand that. Oh, I don't care what happened to them. No, you can't think that about people. You can't think about you don't care about people. Because if it affects them, it comes back to affect you. And you guys are here today because you want to change that in your lifestyle so you can enhance your other people. How many of you would like to donate to charities of your cause? And how many of you would like to give to your church when you go to your church on Sundays or whenever you do, whatever days you go? But here's what happens. If you don't have, can you give? You see, you first have to have, you have to generate enough for you. But 85% of Americans only worried about their bills. They're going to work just to pay their bills. And that's the problem. I don't want you to go to work to pay your bills. That's bullshit. You go to work and try to pay the bills of 5 or 10 families. How's that? How many of you can do that? I'm going to work and earn enough money so if 10 more people need help, I'll give it to them. Now you're making a difference. And if you can do it, could you excite some other people to join the bandwagon and do it too? And that's why we're here. That's why we want to be self-employed. I don't feel bad for millionaires making $20 million a year only paying $3 million in taxes. Here's what happens. If you looked at their returns, you will see $5 million went to charities and donations. I'd rather give it away to help people in need than give it away to somebody else that is pissing on the way on bullshit.